7.5 the total from Tampa, Boston, and Oakland. That's Lackey and Parker. Parker minus 115, 7.5 the total in the last game. The Angels in Seattle. That's Williams and Saunders from Safeco, and it is Williams minus 115, 8.5 the total.
Yeah, Boston, Oakland. I don't have much on the Houston-Tampa game because it's hard to really make a case for Houston. Cozart making his first start. Price, again, off the DLs, looked good so far, but laying 300 is a pretty big number to lay. Lackey and Parker both in very good form right now. Maybe I take a look at the under 7.5. Of course, the Red Sox are hitting the ball so well right now. Maybe if you play the Red Sox and the under, you should do no worse than split those two plays. As far as Angels and the Mariners go, Williams has not fared well in his recent starts as a starter after being put back into the bullpen. 9.82 ERA and a WHIP of over 2 in his last 3 starts. Saunders, the ex-Angel, has been up and down for Seattle. Has generally pitched fairly well at home. But the Angels are playing well right now. Maybe I look over considering how well Seattle's been hitting the ball lately.
All right, real quick, nationally, we got about 3 minutes to go here. We got Kelly and Villanueva, St. Louis, and the Cubs. It's a 105 start here in Vegas. It is Kelly minus 120, no total, of course, because the game at Wrigley Field. They'll have that total up tomorrow morning. Mets and Pirates, that's Hefner and Morton. Pittsburgh struggling of late. Pirates are minus 148, the total. Washington and Miami, Strasburg and Eovaldi. It is Strasburg minus 175, 6.5. Shaded a little bit to the over, minus 125. Also, you've got Cincinnati and Atlanta, Arroyo and Medlin. Medlin minus 135, 7.5 the total. Gorzolani and Corbin as Milwaukee takes on Arizona in game 2 of that 4-game set. It is Corbin minus 178 the total. San Francisco and San Diego, that's Gaudin, who's had personal problems over here in Vegas that we've heard about over according to the Review Journal.
But that was, of course, back in January.
Back in January, right. You want to go online and read that sucker. It is O'Sullivan making a start there for the Padres, and Gaudin is minus 110, 8 the total. And then Nicasio against Kershaw. Kershaw 1.89 ERA, best in baseball, minus 240. Nicasio is a big dog in that game, 6.5 the total. And the only interleague game is the White Sox and Phillies. That'll be Danks and Pettibone. Pettibone minus 130, 8.5 the total. And Philly playing pretty good ball of late. I mean,
3 out of 4. They've got a chance. And looking at all those National League games, have to like the way the Mets are playing. Have to like the way Jeremy Hefner has pitched over the last month and a half. The Strasburg-Eovaldi matchup, Washington-Miami, would tend to point under, but 6.5 is a tough number to go under. Cincinnati and Atlanta, Arroyo and Medlin, both in their current form, suggest we might see some runs scored in that game. A lot of folks I know like the under in tonight's game. It turned out to be a 6-5 game with pitchers who are in better current form than either Arroyo or Medlin are of late. Nothing really on Milwaukee and Arizona. Corbin still putting up some pretty good numbers, so he's tough to go against. Don't really have much of a thought on the San Francisco game against the first-time starter O'Sullivan, who used to be with the Angels. Colorado and the Dodgers, it's too big of a price to be laying with Kershaw, but maybe you look under in that one.
Andy Isko, always appreciate you. Appreciate Cindy McCoy.